Hey guys, how's it going? So today my mom and I are getting ready to harvest some of the wheat and make some wheat wreaths from our own garden. This was an experiment. I had never grown wheat before, but every single year for I don't know how many years, we've been harvesting.
Maybe like 15?
15 years-ish. We go out to farmers' fields after they're done harvesting, and there's usually like a little strip left that they can't get to with their machines, and they allow us to go out and forage for it.
We glean.
We do, we glean. And it has been really nice and it's worked out well, but I thought, oh, it would be so nice to have it all in one spot so we don't have to go from field to field, because there are some years where they're very efficient with their planting and there's not much left on the sides. So we have to go, you know, in order to get enough quantity of wheat to do the projects we want to do, we'd have to visit multiple fields. So I dedicated one row. It's about 60 feet long, maybe, what do you think, 5-6 feet wide or so?
Yeah, probably 5 feet.
Yeah. We planted it last fall. You plant it much like garlic and harvest much like garlic for a winter wheat. The variety is Ovation. We will link the video where I planted it down below, because I did go through some wheat basics, and it was very basic because that was my first time. I mean, we've sold the seed forever. I just hadn't ever planted it myself. And it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
This is a bearded wheat, and I did that on purpose because you can get it where these little spikes.
They're called awns.
Yeah.
Awns.
So you can get awnless wheat if you want, which is really nice if you happen to have livestock that might forage, because these are actually a protective barrier to get to the wheat seed in there, and they can keep animals from foraging. So this is really good if you've got like deer pressure, things like that. It kind of deters them a little bit more, and I think it's prettier.
Yes.
For
Has
projects.
more texture.
It does.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got this huge row. I cut the water probably 3 weeks ago now so that it could dry up and kind of turn this beautiful golden color. We've got some potatoes as well growing in there from last year. That's what we had in this space. And a couple sunflowers toward the end. And it's supposed to be 102 degrees today.
I'm prepared.
You are prepared. It's perfect.
This is like my personal umbrella.
It is. I thought about we should bring one out here maybe later.
I'm good.
You're golden for the day.
Yeah.
These are our supplies. We've got some hedge trimmers here. Usually one of us gathers up a bundle of wheat while the other one kind of shears it off at the bottom, and we can load it in here so we can eliminate bending over as much as possible, because we think about these things now. We've got trimmers and wreath forms and wire so we can start making our wreaths, and then there's a couple of tarps we can lay the wheat on as well, and then I'll show you where we're going to make them. We've got the flower shed all opened up. We've got a fan going in here, but we just intend on coming straight in here. We're going to make a massive mess. I already have a mess. This is what I do when I make flower arrangements. I stand right here, cut all my flowers, make my thing, and throw all my junk on the floor, and then we just gather it up and clean it every once in a while. But it's nice in here because we've got the west side windows open right now in the morning because it's shaded on this side, as well as the north windows. And then as the day progresses, depending on how long we're out here, we'll open up the east windows. I wonder if it would help to open them up now.
Maybe.
A little
cross
There's
breeze.
no breeze outside though, which that makes a 102-degree day a little bit harder. That might help with the fan there, kind of draw some air over.
There's a bistro set right out here.
Yes, there is. And I use it.
That's calling our name.
Me and the kids, we use that.
Yeah, I love that.
Aaron hasn't, he doesn't appreciate the bistro sets. Tilton apricot. They're starting to ripen. All right, guys, so this next part is pretty basic. We're just gonna be cutting the wheat. And we'll probably just do it in batches, I wonder. I don't know. We'll probably fill the gator and work off of that and then harvest more as we need. And that's the beauty of this too, is that this is where we're gonna store it, right here. We'll use what we need today, and then as we need to do more projects, we'll gather more up and use it, instead of having to cut it all and then, where would we store that?
It's gonna be nice because of how we used to gather wheat. Like when we went out to the farmers' fields, it would be all corrugated and dusty, and we used to play games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we used to play games to take our mind off of how miserable we were.
Yeah, it was always over 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And so you would throw out ingredients like, here, we're playing Chop. These are your ingredients. What would you cook?
Yes. And then all three of us would take turns and create some wonderful thing while we were cutting wheat, and so hot and dirty and oh, it was miserable.
But kind of festive at the same time.
Yeah, we tried to make the best of it. Yeah.
It almost felt, whenever we were getting ready to do wheat, that fall was just around the corner. And for those of us who, I don't know how you guys are, but I appreciate the break. I don't know about living in a climate where you garden all year long. I don't think that I would enjoy that. I enjoy having a little break. I like the seasons, and doing the wheat it's always kind of fall decor for us, or like late summer fall decor. So it always kind of meant the turn, even though it's still like the peak of hotness. Tomorrow's supposed to be 108. Ugh. Anyway, we're gonna get after this, you guys. Okay, it looks like we're about to get shaded in here. As soon as the sun gets high enough, it won't be streaming in. But this is our setup, you guys. We've got, what do you think these are? 16-inch wreath forms?
Yeah, I think
16-inch.
14 or 16.
Yeah. And then we've got 24 gauge paddle wire here, which is a little thin. How's yours? Is yours a 24 or a 22?
I think this is thicker.
Is that thicker? This one's so thin. I'm gonna break that.
I don't think
that says 24 too.
Yeah. Oh.
So maybe we'll have to go get some different. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
I didn't have any forethought when I.
Well, you know what? I don't know what gauge we have at work, but it might be thick because this takes some pretty good pulling.
Yeah.
And we hate to break this like in the middle of a wreath.
Right.
Because
so we could run down.
We don't know our own strength.
No, we don't. But you can see here we've got our wheat sitting here. This is the piles we're going to work off of. Here is the bigger pile. Now we only cut in about, I don't know, 5 feet into the row. So I think we're going to just try to cut a little bit as we go. That way we don't end up with an enormous pile or an enormous mess.
Right. Well, we're going to have a mess by the time we're done.
Yeah, that is true.
I wish that it's kind of, look at how pretty that is.
I know, that is so pretty.
Before it dries, I love that color.
Maybe we should have done them earlier.
Well, it'll turn brown anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you want to demonstrate how to begin your wreath?
Sure. So you just, I usually just do a figure 8 on the, wrapping around this frame, and then I just kind of give it a couple of wraps and just pull snug. Not too tight that you break your wire, but snug. Because this is pretty atrophied. It's not going to do a lot of drying because it's already dried.
Yeah.
Unlike Christmas wreaths where they dry and shrink, you've got to really pull tight. You don't want to pull too tight because you'll break through your stems.
Yeah, so maybe the wire will be fine.
I think it might.
Yeah.
We can give it a try.
And Mom is left-handed, so when I start my wreath, I start it on this side.
I say my right hand's only good to, hold a glass.
Hold it. Oh, there you go. Okay, so Mom has gathered up a nice, attractive-looking bundle.
Yes, and so you just lay it down on top of the wire with a little bit of stem showing, and you just give it a couple of wraps. I think this wire's nice.
Okay, good.
Just like that.
Oh,
not
that's
too
perfect.
tight to cut through, but just snug enough to hold it in place.
Shade it real quick, or just like that. And the size that you make your bundles will indicate how thick you make your wreath, or how thick the wreath ends up.
Yes, I've made some that I thought I had little bundles, but when I got done, my wreath was like a woolly mammoth.
Like no hole in the center?
Like a nest.
Yeah, a wheat nest.
Yes.
So, and then do you trim off your tails? Or are you going to leave your tails on this one?
I wait till I get a couple of bundles done, and then I trim it.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the second bundle, you just want to lay it down on top of the first bundle. Make sure you're kind of not angling it too far out, just sort of on top of that first bundle, and you'll see what you like. I don't want to have it so far in that you lose your center hole, but I don't want it too far out either. So just kind of on the top, nest it in there. Then you take your wire and you just wrap it snug 2 times. That's it. That is it.
All the way till the end. The end gets a little tricksy, but we'll stop and show you guys.
Yeah.
So now at this point, do you start cutting your...
I do. So then I'll just take my clippers and just cut it about how the wreath is formed.
That actually helps, don't you think, make it look puffier? You use less product.
Yeah, you use less product, and it gives it some nice texture. Sometimes you can just end your wreath with a big
long tail,
which I love. Yeah, I love that look. So that's it. And then you just do another couple bundles, trim.
And then you just kind of like next bundle would slightly face in, slightly face out, in, out, all the way around, repeating the same, wire twisting and trimming of the tails. And then at the very end, we will stop and show you.
Yes.
right, guys, you can see I have made it toward the end of my wreath. I started here and worked my way around, and Mom has been playing with the kids. So
we've been playing the quiet game.
You're almost done though.
Yeah.
So when you get to this point of the wreath, you can either stop and you can make individual bundles like this and then hot glue them in, or you could use this as the place where you put your wreath hanger and then you can put a bow there. Or if you want to finish it completely, what you have to do is just go about it very gently and use smaller bundles. So you can go in and kind of lift that first bundle up and guide this one through. It's going to break a few little pieces, but it shouldn't be too bad. And then you take your wire and just do the same thing, but you just do it a lot slower and a lot smaller bundles. Let's do that one.
Keep it right there.
And then I'm going to come in and trim that. Okay, I hope you were able to see that close enough. And then you can take your first bundle and kind of bring it back over the top of the tails of the last one. And you just keep kind of doing that. And usually my bundles get smaller and smaller to the point where I'm like tucking in 3 little pieces at a time. So this part is the part that usually takes the longest. This part's really fast.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing here is this is what we have left out of the gator. So it's going to take us roughly a 5x5 patch to make 2 wreaths.
Yeah.
I never really knew how much wheat it took to make a wreath.
I didn't either. Had no idea.
So if you want to make 1 16-inch wreath, you could plant roughly a 3x3 to be safe. 2.5 by 2.5 really foot section to get that done. Okay, so I did tuck in the 2 small bundles right here at the end, but I've got a little gap still, and I think I'm just going to do the hot glue approach because it's a lot faster. So I just wanted to show you what you do with your wire at the end. So I pulled the last bundle tight, and then I just cut my wire. Then I'm going to wrap it around again. Then we pick up our wreath, and then you just basically find somewhere to tie it off to on the back. So we're going to just feed it through, let's see. Easier said than done. So we're just going to feed it through here. There we go. So it's tied off on the wreath form at some point, and we're just going to do that a couple of times until I'm out of wire. And that's it. So you've got just like one huge long piece of wire all the way around this wreath form. And if you really wanted to, you could save it, I suppose, when you take apart your wreath later on. Wheat wreaths, the one thing about them is they're dry. And these are actually going to the windows down at the garden center. We're gonna make just a big old bunch of wheat wreaths. I think it'll be really pretty. But if you're displaying them outside, which is where we normally display them, they last a season. And then you're kind of done and you wanna do it fresh the next year. But anyway, I don't know how many wreaths we're gonna make today, but
I did 10?
10 at least. So we're almost 2 down. All right, guys, here's my first one. I can't hold it out far enough from the camera.
Here, let me hold it out.
Oh, that would be great. Ugh. Nice.
It is. Oh, I nearly dropped it.
Don't you drop it. Okay, and then Mom has one more bundle in there drying. We did use quite a lot of hot glue. We used the glue gun quite a lot.
Okay.
Moment of truth. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, that evened it out big time.
Did it?
Yes.
Okay.
That looks great.
Perfect.
All right, guys, so we are going to take these 2 wreaths down to Andrews, to the garden center, and we're going to pick up more wreath forms, more wire bundles, so that Benjamin can help us.
Yeah, I'm gonna make one, but let me show you one of my wreaths. Where did my wreath go?
We probably used it, dude. You might need to make another.
Where'd it go? Is it on the floor? No, I don't know.
Yeah, let me make one real quick.
Okay. That is going to be the most secure bundle we have in this place.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I forgot to cut it.
Oh, there you go. That looks awesome. Good job. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We are down at the garden center now, and we're going to go ahead and hold our wreath up in the window, one of them at least, because you know when you can see light through something, you can really see the bald spots. So we might back our wreaths with a little ring of burlap. Hey, thanks.
Oh, there he is. Oh, and there's a wheat wreath. Okay.
Pretty good. Yeah, that looks great. I honestly don't know that other than the fact that they'll look better if we back them with burlap.
We could get to it later.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have to do it today.
Right. And here they will sit until we're ready to put them in the window. But we've got about, what, 10 more to make?
Maybe.
Roughly.
We'll take a look at the windows. Mm-hmm. And that filled up that door. So we kind of know, like...
We could keep it very simplistic and not have a bunch and just have like all in the same and like drop them with ribbon. Wouldn't that be pretty?
Okay, there you go.
So we're in it at least 7 or 8 more. We are back home. We need to cut a little bit more wheat and we're just going to do the same thing over and over again. I think Monica's going to come over and make one for her house. But I think the bulk of what we're making today, Mom and I, is going to end up down at the garden center. But it's just such a nice day. And I think we were just talking about how it's not super hot yet, but if you can get out early in the morning and kind of be outside as it heats up, you're a little bit more acclimated to it as opposed to, you know, staying in the house, air conditioning, and then coming out into the heat. So we're feeling pretty comfortable, and it's nice that we can have umbrellas to move around and fans in here. That's not how it's gone in years past. You know, we're usually out in the middle of a dry, dusty field, so this is very pleasant. Anyway, I'll try to get some close-ups of like an entire wreath going together so that you can see it. Here we go. There's wreath number 2. Mom is almost done with her second one. And Monica made it.
Hello.
And Benjamin has been making bundles for us. You've been doing a great job.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, can you grab them for me?
Here's one of them.
That looks so good.
Here's the second.
Awesome. So itty bitties. Those are cute.
They split up.
I love it. Great job, Dad. I'm really pleased with how this shed is working out. 3 of us fit in here just perfectly fine.
And with the fans and
Yeah.
the windows open.
Yeah.
And I don't know how hot it is outside, but it's not hot in here.
It's 92 right now.
Oh.
Not too bad. And tomorrow it's come down 2 degrees, 106.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's better than 108.
Yeah.
It's better than 108.
We are about ready to take a break for lunch, and then we're going to head back out and make some more. I think we'll get 6 done today. 6 out of the, how many did we decide we needed?
8 or
2,
10.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9?
9, 10.
10.
So we'll have 4 more to make after today, which is better than 10.
That's right.
Yeah. We got almost 6 wreaths done today, which is really good. Mom and Dad have dinner plans tonight, so we have to call it at this point. So she has time to go get ready. But I think it was the perfect amount of time, honestly, because it's what, 102 degrees?
Yeah.
Only 15% humidity, you guys. That's how we are able to do it in the heat out here. Because you might think 102 is hot, and that is hot. But when you're not dealing with humidity, it's much more pleasant. So we got the 2 wreaths done that we took down to Andrew's already. And then I think this is the one I got done, right? Yeah, this one?
Yes.
And then here's Mom's right there. Here's mine right here. And here's Mom's right here. Mom likes to play with the kids, so.
Some a little
this,
behind.
yeah, that amount of wheat wreath worth of time.
Yes. Yes.
And it looks like we are standing in an absolute manger scene at the moment.
It does. It looks like a barn in here.
It does. And our umbrella has fallen down in the wheat. So I hope you guys were able to see clear enough how we were making those wreaths. We have done several wreath videos in the past, so you could check those out if you want to. It's likely it's about the same as this one. Oftentimes when we get together, we're just chatting and having a good time, and I try to get as close up angles as I can. Sometimes I don't get it quite, but anyway, it was just a really fun day and a fun thing to do on a really hot day like today. I mean, you wouldn't want to be working out in the direct sun no matter what, but in here, it was a great thing to do today. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.